that together with the lifestealer also makes for a good lane. No doubt about that. Often you see the Lich together with the Juggernaut, just with the slows, just being able, or ensuring that the Juggernaut can get the spin damage off. It's not quite the same on the lifestealer. Of course, you can only just right-click, but depending on who they actually face up against, may or may not be enough. NiP have yet to pick up their offlaner, by the looks of it. Unless they want to run the Earthshaker there, but I would just imagine Saxa to pick that one up. Okay. Darkseer is still available if you want to go for the big wombo combos. That could be interesting, actually. I mean, it doesn't directly deal with the lifestealer as much, because lifestealer has this inbuilt sustain, so constant Iron Shell harassment is not necessarily going to do the trick. What Darkseer does do, though, is just skip the creep wave, backline, as the pros call it, I guess. Just drag the creep wave to a neutral camp, farm both those up at the same time, and basically just ignore lifestealer, leave him to his own devices, and then all you need to do is just deal with the Lich trying to stop you, but certainly once you have a few levels, it's not really going to do the trick. For now, it is the Necrophos, though, coming out. I'd imagine that to be the Fata hero, though. That being said, they do have the last pick coming in to
10 seconds remaining.
For the mid lane potentially. So after you see everything that Final Tribe has to offer, you can always just try and figure out the lanes, look for the best matchup.
Dire team ban.
Brewmaster again puts a Nature's Prophet into a support position, so that'll be Xibber probably picking up the Panda once more. And it is, it's a good one, you know? You have to Dispel Magic, I believe that does work against the Ghost Shroud, so having that available is nice. Beyond that, again, the lift up against the Ursa, keeping that away.
5 seconds remaining.
The pushing power is not quite as decisive as it was in Game 2 for Final Tribe, so again, especially with the counter push that you do have from the Jakiro alone, I would imagine that this game will go a little bit longer than game number 2, to say the least. But Final Tribe, certainly, right now, they have all the ingredients to take these mid-game skirmishes, right? It's going to come down to execution very heavily, though. If you do get caught out by the Earthshaker in a stun combo, you have to fight inside the Macro Pyre. If Ursa has free reign, if Necrophos, we're trying to focus on him, but he keeps himself alive with just massive heal spam, which is always going to be something that Necrophoses are going to look to try and itemize into even. I've seen Necros pick up Holy Lockets and whatnot, just to buff that up even further. With the constant Death Pull spam, with the Guardian Greaves eventually as well, so that's something that you can misjudge sometimes. And then Necrophos, all of a sudden, he just heals himself back up to full after you bring him down to a third of his health points, and then, well, you've already committed, right? You've used a bunch of your spells, and then you're in a bad way, right? Ursa blinks in on top of you, and you don't dare imagine it. So, Final Tribe, they need to pick up a Necrophos killer, and Pugna certainly is that. It works in a number of different ways, once again. A lot of magic damage. Necrophos can't necessarily rely on a Ghost Shroud to help him out. Decrepify, also very useful against the Ursa in some situations. Like, you gotta be careful, though. If you just decrepify the Ursa, and he doesn't... or he still has his ultimate available, you can purge it off immediately and just keep running. You can always just decrepify yourself, though, into a TP out or something. Or just decrepify after the enrage. But it is actually gonna be the 3/3 Ursa instead of the Ace Ursa, as he gets himself the Medusa. Okay, so if the game goes late now, and again, NiP, they have some tools to try and brawl early on to kind of keep themselves alive, to get it to that point. NiP, they'll have the clear advantage for sure. Medusa, hands down, scaling much better than much better than the lifesteal ever could. So final tribe, if they're gonna win this game, they're gonna have to put their feet on the gas. Not just one foot, ideally both feet, you know. Because Medusa, you can't allow her to go super crazy. She's vulnerable early on to all of the bursts, all of the lifesteal running at you. And stuff like that. But the moment Ace gets a few items under his belt and a bunch of levels, it's gonna get harder and harder to deal with that hero. Right, we'll see what happens. Again, it's pretty clear what both of these drafts want to do. Whether they can do it, well, that's a different story altogether. NiP, they have struggled in the series. Game number
Prepare for battle.
1. Took them a while. There was a bit... game number 1 was crazy. If you haven't watched it, just download the replay. Go ahead and get that in. Makes for some good... some good drama, to say the least. But yeah, for the longest time, NiP was on the back foot there, strategically. Final Tribe just completely demolishing them in game 2, just a bit of a draft win as well. Now it's coming down to this. If you're just tuning in, a quick reminder, this is an elimination series in the Disneyland major European qualifiers. The loser is out, the winner will have to play up against OG for the last slot available out of this region.
30 seconds to battle.
Okay. No surprise, sending Ace towards mid lane. 33. Up towards top alone with Trilane around the Father Necrophos aggressively. So this is interesting, to say the least. Chessie should be fine in mid. Like it's Medusa. It's always annoying with the what do I call it? With the Mystic Snake. So Ace is gonna do his thing. Chessie's gonna do his thing. Should be more or less a farming lane, as PPD making his way up top to support 33. So they're going for these dual lanes. Meanwhile, for now, Xibber all alone up top. Could get some help eventually from Hanskin, perhaps. For now, he's blocking up the creeps quite a bit. The necessity here in this particular game, because Saxa, of course, already went for the fissure block on this creep wave. It's impossible to keep them in a good position, though, compared to that. So still very nice for NiP. For now, just keeping it as it is. Could potentially find a nice little kill here, just depending on the kind of fissure that Saxax can throw out. There's always the potential for some nice body blocks after the slows. Oh, same can be said for Fata. I mean, he's doesn't have a lot of defensive utilities early on. The fissure slows him down. Fairy Fire, it's not nearly going to be enough though. Easiest first blood of the night.
Just achieved first blood. Thanks and have fun.
And, well, Saxa, at least he can get last of the two. But I think Final Tribe are going to be happy with that. Top lane also there's a creep wave pushing in. So Xibber will be happy. Should be able to secure level 2, maybe even close to level 3 with all these range creeps. Unless they're being denied by 33. We'll have to keep an eye on that. And clap. Nice. Range creeps are so important. So important. Not just for experience, but also gold at this stage. So, it's just doing harassment damage, so he doesn't get the extra last hits, but experience still puts him over that level 3. So that part's working out. Saxa now be slowed down. Frost Shield with their open wounds too. Is that gonna be enough? Not quite. Frost unwilling to chase him inside the trees. That's not really worth it. Especially if there's some juicy creeps to take instead. But it does really show the weaknesses of the Earthshake. You can't really do too much to help out Father now, the body blocks. Oh, they're actually real. Hanskin with the DD rune actually chunking away at this Necrophos. Father down again. Bit of a disaster there, to say the least. The only upside is for 33 right now is that mid is even as you would expect. Not much to talk about there in 33, of course. He's getting more or less free farm. But again, as long as if they're not slowing down the Brewmaster's level progression, then that's still a lane that's absolutely fine for him. Vadar's the big loser of this laning stage so far. I'm not sure if he... And it's also not a hero that can easily catch up, right? You could Deathpool spam and try and get some jungle pools, but it seems painfully slow as Xibber. Being gone on up top, but he has a big enough health pool. He should be absolutely fine in mid. Saxa maybe looking to try and make something happen there. Chessie down at half health. But I think he knows that something's amiss. If you don't get a good fissure block, you're not really doing anything on this Earthshaker. That's kind of the big problem of that hero. PPD making his way down bottom. Okay, body blocks are coming in. Let's get a dual breath off on one of these supports. Only Hanskin actually with the frost shield on one of the freaking treants. And it should be enough with the last. Oh, I'm missing up high ground. Another one. Another miss. Are you kidding me? Need one more click. And deny to Ancients. Ah, well played indeed. There's a lot of dragon friends helping out a fellow dragon. You know, this is what I'm saying. Jack hero, best hero in the game. The neutrals are on your side, the black dragons at least, you know. You always helping out a fellow flying creature. Yeah, it doesn't really change the fact that this bottom lane is not going particularly well. I mean, I guess levels are still kind of floating in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
We'll see how this continues to develop. It's also just ahead of rune time here, Hanskin on the wrong side of the fissure. So Saxa unable to get the perfect positioning off. He's still trying to fight for the runes. Not gonna get it though. Saxa now with the TP out. Should be healthy enough. There we go. Still some budgets up top, so Hanskin gotta be able to get all runes. Ooh, 33, a little bit too late.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pops the mango, as might actually be in a bit of trouble. Slowed down, tries to get Xibber. But body blocks from Hanskin is actually gonna die. Oh, that feels bad. And hey, Brewmaster with a bottle. He can just drink a bit of water to get back up to full after that with the bounty rune. It's gonna drink even more water just going into the shrine. It also works. Hanskin gets a lane or two, or wave or two of free experience. It's one thing that he's been kind of struggling with, just a little bit. So, you take a minute or two sometimes to just get a lane for a moment. Can't spend all your time just running around trying to make things happen. It's gonna start falling behind in that department. Chessie making a play here. A is completely out of mana, but the infused raindrops help. Ooh, that's a fissure block. Not really though, and he doesn't have aftershock, only level 3. Oh wait, what? Oh, he just got level 3, alright, yeah. He didn't have aftershock when he went for the enchant totem. Either way, it would have been a very unlikely kill on Chessie.
Dire's top tower is under
Hey,
attack.
now up top, Hanskin starting to work away. 33 is hanging around, he's gonna get some support from Saxa. It's a big nuke at this point, especially with the, what's it called, the Cinder Brew? Yeah. That's not something that you can really deal with on the Ursa, right? You don't have a lot of extra region left. No stick or anything for burst heal. So you're just gonna have to give up this tower, and speaking of reinforcements, Arrow actually also making his way up here. Saxa will scout him out. Should give 33 the opportunity to walk away, so at least they're not losing any more heroes. But make no mistake, this is Final Tribe still taking charge of the early game, which is what the lineup's kind of supposed to do. certainly compared to NiP, who really need some time. Certainly on the Medusa, but even on heroes like Ursa. We need a few items before we really feel comfortable going in, and more importantly, levels. There's Medusa. Well, still raindrops to help him out, but Hanskin now with the... okay, they just keep Ace alive as... nice little fissure blocks the extra nuke. Ace barely survives this one. The Hanskin exhibit, they're not done yet. Ace is kind of slow now with the Trapify, an extra nuke, and this time the raindrops aren't enough. Hanskin kind of blocked by some creeps, but I don't think PPD has enough firepower to actually bring him down.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Chasing very, very deep, but it's a nice little TB spot. But hey, yeah. Again, Final Tribe. Once again, leveraging their early game advantage, and now they're starting to work their way in more and more towers. Hanskin TP'd out, TP'd back in. Xaxa, out of mana, out of everything. Simply gets the ultimate off as you all see PPD off to the side. Should be able to bring down both these supports. Chainfrost also slowing down Xaxa. No, but they actually let PPD go, so never mind.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's also tier 1 dead.
Dire are
Wait,
scanning.
did he lift somewhere? Was Vater lifted up by the Storm Panda? I don't know. Tiny little stack here, at least trying to. P massive rotations in to try and save it. Yeah. While all of that was happening, Frost is also just continuing to last it, so he has eclipsed Ursa by quite a bit actually, 1,000 gold ahead right now. And he almost has enough money for the Midas. So Lifestealer is... it's not even a late game thing anymore, is it? It's this early for Midas, you can still hit your next item by the 15-minute market, or even earlier, of course. So that still fits into Final Tribe's timing that they can go for. NiP once again in kind of a situation where it's like they're not quite ready yet on any of these heroes. No level 6 on either of the supports. Talked about the Medusa, it's not going to be ready for a while. Drums closing in, at least for the Ursa. So 33, it's going to be on him. Try and facilitate something. Frost. Going in. PPD gonna get nuked down. He did secure the bounty rune though. So hashtag space created the other one. Nice fissure block. Not quite nice enough for us able to just walk past. It does look like there's no space here, but there actually is. Thanks, Ice Frog. Anyway, oh, they find Medusa. It's the last raindrop, and it's a little bit deep. Can't really commit further. Also, don't really have an easy way of killing off these ancients, so NiP should have that to look forward to for Ace. I mean, look at this. 10 minutes in, 5k advantage, 6-0. These are really bad indicators if you're an NiP fan. They need time to get online. Even poor Necrophos so far is gonna be a non-factor for a little while longer. It's not even level 6 yet. Even then, aggressive burst damage to go with that, I guess. Also walking in, getting a few clicks off. In the meantime, Hanskin making his way down bottom to help out Frost. It's just killing off Saxa. Very easily indeed. Meanwhile, mid, Chassis. Enemy gone on, Decrepify to help, and now, okay, 33 gets the ultimate off and finds a few more clicks.
You came too close to what is mine.
Okay, that's too deep. That's one way where I can actually still throw things away a little bit. I mean, you can afford to give up these kind of kills once or twice. It's not the end of the world right now, just doing it once. But certainly very worthwhile kill. Not a 33 dies in turn, though, Silver. Doesn't have a lot more mana, though. But yeah, Frost certainly looking for more kills. If they dare if they would dare to fight him, I mean, that's the thing, right? I think that at this point you're gonna just try and stay away from Lifestealer. Stay away from anybody. And just farm jungle creeps. Alright. Let's catch on the ward here. Got one of their own, which is about to expire, so might want to replan something. This is what Era's doing. 33, he's walking up. I think he got a glimpse of him. But yeah, should be fine. Final tribe, really good positioning all across the map so far. Putting on just enough pressure without overextending all that much. They really understand, alright, this is a very limited amount of things that NiP can actually do to us, so that's why Hanskin is perfectly fine 1v1ing or just hitting creeps here up against Vater in this lane. So Xibber is playing in the front lines, ready to go. I mean, there's a region rune too, and Primal Split off cooldown, so kinda we'll try and make use of that. Ursa, the enrage. And now that's on cooldown for a little bit. Meanwhile, PPD, scouted out up top. It's gonna be free kill. And probably free tier 2, honestly. Especially with Chassis rotating in, ready to blast it to pieces. And this kinda looks like game number 2, honestly. Final try with this incredibly early pressure on not just heroes, but also buildings. And this push, yeah, it's at roughly the same time as it did in game number 2. Don't have the Lone Druid Bear, but they do have Blast, they do have Treants to help tank it up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Too serious about that. Sibber. Vlad's face boots into Midas? I'm not sure if that's the right idea. Lifesteal though, he's going for the Radiant. So they're kind of not going super green. They're settling in for the possibility that they will not be able to break NiP. So they're just going for these standard items to make sure that they can still fight the Medusa. And then they realize, hey, there is still a big timing window. Medusa is farming, but she's farming much better than the rest of the team, of course. But not so much better than most of Final Tribe right now. If you look at this network distribution, it's actually pretty damn good. So they know that Medusa is not going to be a threat that's impossible to deal with for quite a while. Means that they're happy to just go for this quote-unquote later timing window with 20-25 minutes perhaps before they actually break High Ground. Meanwhile, TPD going on here. If you get caught in this kind of situation, there's not a whole lot that you can do as a Jakiro. But they do secure at least this one bounty rune up top. Frost getting 2 of his own. Rest of his team looking for more Exhibit. Doesn't have the Blink Dagger just yet. Actually, yeah, he's actually going for Midas. Oh my god. So just want levels, right? That's one thing where Final Tribe is still ahead, but kind of doesn't feel like it. So many people just level 7.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That's just due to the fact that it's still very early in the game. This tier 2 not long for the world either.
Radiant are scanning.
Now Frost, he might be in a bit of trouble. NiP starting to rotate in some heroes. All Frost needs to do is at Rage TP, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Look at this though, I mean that's a single round of overpower hits, you know, down a half health. If it ever comes to a man fight, Frost will not really be happy. It's not really the kind of game that they're playing right now. They don't need to play that game. Radiant's online. Might want to wait for the Yules on Pugna, perhaps. Should also coincide with the Midas on a Brewmaster being online. Speaking of Midas, Prophet also went for zone. We're back to Midas gaming, folks. 1, 2, 3 soon to be, and no Midases on the side of NiP, which is why they're gonna lose, I guess? I don't know. Ursa starts working away with Roshan, though. This should not really be happening. Final Tribe need to be on top of this and deny this, but it doesn't look like they have any idea that this is going on. There's lifesteal available, so he should be absolutely fine. Doing that by himself, and well, that is nice. That is very nice indeed for NiP. This is something that you shouldn't really have open to you with so much map control being in the hands of the opposing team.
Dire's middle tower is under
Got away
attack.
with something there. How much it's gonna help them, I don't know. Aegis is nice, but if Ursa's being kited, then they can probably kite him twice, honestly. In the meantime, final tribe, they're still getting something off of this. I mean, skipping creep waves just left and right,
Is under attack.
and they're just blasting away the tower. So NiP, they have to initiate the Echo Slam over on Hanskin, doing a lot of damage here. Chelsea with the 4-star power. He'll be fine for now. 33 will finish him off. Hanskin also dropping. He's trying to look for more Xibber. Has yet to use his Primal Split. Doesn't want to use it right now if they don't have to. That was the right decision for NiP to make. They got away with it. Nice little fissure from Saxa going in with the Echo Slam, doing just enough damage here to set up for kill on Chassis. It forced TFT to back off, because otherwise, like, if you don't initiate like this, if you don't go out of the base to put the to take the fight to the final tribe, all they need to do is just stand here on Pagna, blast the tower over and over again.
What ails
And
you?
that way you're gonna lose out. And just always do what Frost has been doing, just walk up top, kill off another creep
Radiant's
wave.
bottom tower is under attack.
As it stands with that play, NiP buy themselves some space on the map, they can get the tier 1 in the bottom lane.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Which is
fallen.
always nice. Final try, still just hanging around this general area. They want to press advantage a little bit more. Chassis is back, they still have that Primal Split, and well, there's no Echo Slam for 60 seconds. But if nothing else, is a little bit of extra chain lockdown. Right? There is,
Radiant structures
however,
are
a
fortified.
glyph to counteract this Macro Pyre. Keep the creeps alive. This tier 3 is gonna drop lower and lower, but there's a backstab in the works. Saxa off to the side, they don't actually see him. The damage being done, and now they go in to fight a Scythe over on Chessie. He's down again, Xibber pops the ultimate. Now lifting up Ace, the follow-up's done onto the Ursa, but they're not really willing to go up the high ground just yet. Yeah, doing a bit of damage here, and it's tier 3 very low indeed, but without Chess you can't blast it to pieces. Then NiP, they repel this push again. They are bleeding, but they're only bleeding
Dire's top tower is under attack.
building hit points. And at this point, it's pretty much acceptable considering the kind of position that they're in. It's all without actually Chessie changed over to the 4-star rather than the Yules, but either way, he didn't have any defensive items. Made it rather easy for NiP to just take advantage of that, bursting down first. They identified that
Radiant's bottom
Pagna
tower
is
is
a
under
very
attack.
easy kill that's still very important for Final Tribe's push. And all of that is more time and space for Ace to farm. Medusa, as the Mana style, going for the Skadi next. About halfway there, give or take. Ursa, here's the Blink Dagger into the BKB, so foregoing the Basher.
Dire's
There's an
top
indicator
tower
of
is under attack.
them just not being ahead, right? If you're ahead, you just go face Strong's Basher and be done with it. But not really an option in this game necessarily. BKB, extremely necessary. If you have that, there's not going to be too much kiting actually. I mean, there's still the Crabify defensively on yourself, or on one of your teammates from the Pagna. This is also where all the 4-stars come in. Sprout, also something that you have to consider. But you can always just swap in the Quelling Blade. Oh. I'm just trying to D-ward. And what the hell, he's still alive? 4-star there from Fart actually helping him, but Radiant's burn. Together with the Crapify, more than enough to finish the job. Nice little target for opportunity here, nothing more, nothing less.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And once again, Lifestealer takes his creep wave into the mid lane. They have Chessie ready to go, so this tier 3 should belong for the world. Aegis is just expired as well. Now Leicester is actually going in, forcing out the Ghost Trap. It's so hard to actually follow up on this high ground. It's crazy. You'd have to go in on the Brewmaster. Okay, this doesn't help, you know, they're just feeding away Treants. It's not a lot of gold, but it's something, you know.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But if you want to go mid high ground, you have to
Bottom
just
tower is under attack.
run in on Xibber, pop the ultimate, and try and create chaos. Then try and get close to somebody that you can actually fight. There it is, that's what they're going to try and do right now. Ace in front lines, lift it up into the air. Flip used immediately, and yeah, they're just looking for the objectives. They want this tier 3. Desperately. And they're going to get it. Xibber, actually doing quite a bit of damage to these Brewlings. But the Earth Panda far enough away. He'll be absolutely fine. Blink forward, but no way to actually slow him down. Very tough for Final Tribe to actually finish up that objective, but they finally do it. So now the shrines are open up, and I can maybe start thinking about the next Roche if we can take that away from the Ursa. That should make it a lot easier to end up taking a fight. Even with NiP, I mean, they're in good positions all the time in these high ground defenses. Like, it's... Zax's always threatening. It's also going to be more threatening going forward. I mean, he's don't get enough money for the Blink Dagger right now. And that is always a scary prospect, even with heroes like Lifestealer. You rely on your rage so much, but Zax blinks in with the Acro Slam, instant disabled, you don't get your rage off, all of a sudden I get nuked by that alone, maybe a bit of extra damage from the Jakiro. More importantly, it's space for the Ursa to walk in, or blink in himself, but for that matter.
Has fallen.
Haste!
Alright, little haste snag there. Xibber's body, Xibber's bottle will still be empty. His body as well, like he doesn't get to drink some juicy river water. Which may or may not be good. Anyway, that's a blink forward here in smoke rotation onto the Lich, but that fissure was not ideal. They also find Frost on the side for 33. Unable to really keep up. The bullet dodge there from Final Tribe, who's still 10k ahead. Let's not forget about that. The only one who's really farmed is Medusa. With a completed Scar here. 33, I mean he's strong just because he's an Ursa. He's a good man fighter. There's a lot of physical bursts coming in if he isn't getting kited. Plus all the good utility here from the Earthshake and Jakiro. Necrophos, his virtue is that he's can't really be easily killed necessarily. I mean, if not easily, then at least not quickly. Right? So all of these heroes have redeeming factors, but when it comes to the straight up farm, it's only really the Medusa who's keeping up there. Frost still very much rocking that Midas, farming multiple camps at the same time with the Radiance. Speaking of Midas, of course, we talked about Hanskin having that. Same with Xibber as soon. Okay. Alright. That's what I'm talking about, you know. Echo Slam, a lot of control, a lot of chain stun, and they even bring down a Bursty Panda. Oh, the Tanky Panda. What's wrong with me today? I don't know. They burst down the Tanky Panda, that's what I meant to say. With the Midas of cooldown, so that hurts me even more. Hurts me on the inside, you know? Illusion. With all of this though, they still can't seem to get this mid and top lane pushed out. Seems to be so hard for them. I mean, bottom lane, yeah, it's kind of alright, but even there, Hanskin is on the case. So no matter what happens, you can't really take these small advantages and turn them into larger advantages just yet. Can't really even look at these tier 1 towers, they're still standing in top as well as mid. Very long Roche respawn, certainly working in NiP's favor, I guess, because it's more of an opportunity for them to try and find another smoke gank out in this general area. Try and find a quick pick off into the Roche, but Final Tribe, they're keeping tabs on it. Death Illusion, which will not survive long enough, but it's getting close to max respawn time, so one way or the other, Final Tribe will know that the big guy will be back and available for taking. Once again, it's gonna help them with a high ground push, and taking it away from Ursa just make sure that you can deal with him much easier. Buyback wise, both cores have it available right now. Jakiro also very close. We'll have it taken. I mean, it doesn't have a high buyback cost, right? So no big surprise there. All right. So many voice issues. At least it didn't say TeamSpeak. That would be questionable. Kappa. That being said, though, I mean TeamSpeak in certain situations is actually more convenient to use. I would imagine. Certainly at LANs, right? For Discord, everyone would have to log in to their own accounts, and then you have that freaking Discord open with all your personal information and everything on another computer, which is a bit of a hassle sometimes, right? Whereas for TeamSpeak, you don't need accounts, right? You just need the server set up locally and connect to it.
Dire are scanning.
And you can do that even without the players necessarily having to log in or do any fancy shenanigans. Yeah, I might have similar setups in their team houses or boot camps or whatever. Who knows? Either way, we're back at it again. So we don't have to keep debating the benefits of Discord and TeamSpeak, as NiP, they go for the smoke. They're trying to establish some control over this Roche pit, and right now they actually have it. 25 seconds on the clock still. Gonna get this T1 tower, maybe? Lift comes through, bottom lane's pushing in with Hanskin's Treants. Sends another wave down. He'll be able to do some damage here if they can deadlock the rest of NiP in this mid lane. Both teams should know that Roshan is about to be back up. It is there right now. But the thing is, with this constant pressure on the side lanes, someone needs to go back, which gives you the advantage on the side of the Final Tribe, because you just straight up outnumber them. Spoke up themselves. That's pretty much Vision. Breaks immediately. Frost with a bit of slow. Immediately purged off those. Father actually shows off that Lotus Orb, but the Hex over onto the Earthshaker. If you can take out Saxons, would be big, but Ace drops the ultimate to Brewmaster. Turned into stone. Zibber, oh, defensive recovery fire gets the ultimate off, and they still finish off Saxon before can throw in any more spells. And now they want more. Zibber, fast, but not fast enough. Ace will make it to the high ground. Bit of a lift just to be annoying, but the beeline should be towards the Roche. And ping it out. Frost, ready to go. Midas off cooldown, but it's something that you have to just accept right now for him and Brewmaster, because Roshan is a lot more important. You have the Solar Crest minus armor. That'll make this very easy indeed. Aegis and Cheese available for Final Tribe.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
Also Stone Gaze on cooldown for 40 seconds, so maybe it's not that big of a window. Certainly not one that you are eager to take advantage of without the Primal Split. That's a lot more important. Inside Final Tribe as well. Okay, Frost on the front lines. Disarm coming through, showing off that halberd. Working away at this tier 1 tower, but oh, a little bit too late for the deny. Ace actually hits pretty damn fast with that Eagle Song, going towards the Butterfly. Not saving money for buyback. Just wants it ASAP. You can go off to the side shop, maybe sell one of these Wraith Bands. Get a few more last hits. He's getting close. Echo Slam over in the side. They find Nature's Prophet. That's gonna actually get himself a Scythe. That's pretty nice. Speaking of Scythe, the Reaper Scythe kills him also. 80 seconds without him. No buyback either. Frost hanging around for the bounty rune. So all of this is space. All of this is space and time for NiP. Because final tribe, they will not feel too comfortable. Actually, he does have buyback now because of the runes, I guess. But you don't necessarily want to spend it unless you have to. Either way, all this is time for NiP where the clock on the Aegis just runs down. If you can maintain this, just try and keep the lanes pushed out. Get a few pickoffs here and there. You can wait out the Aegis. You're always going to have to deal with cheese, of course. And still, despite everything, final tribe getting more and more of a gold advantage as things go on. But Medusa is getting towards critical mass. I mean, it's the completed butterfly flying out now on the courier. It's also Vlad's for 33. There it is. Final tribe, they don't want to waste any more time. There's a bit of an anti-timing though, again, because of the butterfly, but they will find PPD up front. Saxa will use the fissure, so that's going to be a dead Jakiro at least. The rest of NiP will be able to get themselves out. No creeps though. No creeps for a while. Life's the illusion bottom lane. Actually, it's going to help a little bit to keep this pushed out, but it's about to expire. So we'll spend some time getting rid of the shrine. But all of this doesn't necessarily make the high ground push easier, and PPD is going to have a chance to respawn normally. And of course, that means he has 2 lives. He has buyback, which is quite important. Same for Saxa, honestly. You need these 2 supports for any sort of high ground defense, any sort of choke point fight. Invaluable to have all of this toolkit available. What would be nice for Final Tribe to identify is that Ace is still 600 gold short of buyback. 33 also doesn't have it either. So if you kill off any of these 2 cores, it could make things a lot easier. Ace in front, Primal Split being used. There's a stun, there's a Hex, no more mana here, but nice little fissure. Blocking Frost away from Ace. Mimo, still off to the side. 33 trying to deal with these Brewlings, but now he's the one isolated. But they don't have any more control. Oh, this could have been so big, but Saxa actually. Beautiful fissure to block the lifesteal away. If he doesn't get that, Froth just finishes off Ace. Not exactly a kill-heavy game again, because it's kind of stagnating. Final Tribe don't want to make a mistake. Neither does NiP. I mean, this is Game 3 in an elimination series. You lose this one, you're out of the running for the major. And whoever wins here, OG is already waiting in the upper bracket final, or lower bracket finals, I guess. The qualifying match coming up after this one. So it's gonna be a tough fight either way. Especially after already playing a very long series like this one. Yeah, we just passed the 3-hour mark, I believe, from the official start time. And now it's actually NiP. We're pressuring the high ground. Is this real? Well, there's 2 sets of Sprouts. Not too much damage being done here. The Cropify actually working for the Medusa in this moment. Another one. Trying to chip away. And I bet out some sort of reaction here from the Earthshake, if nothing else. This Frost just goes in, he's just right-clicking. He doesn't have a lot of mana to work with. There's no Manta Style, no... okay, there's the Aqua Slam over Chessie, but hey, he does have the air, he's ready to go. Fata, super low, there's Nullify to get rid of the gold shot. So goodbye, number 1. We find a few more heroes. Arrow off to the side, actually. Slowing down Saxa, but now Medusa, they were just able to kite around the Stone Gaze. Now Frost right back into it. Another Nullifier, but... well, cheese being eaten or something by Chessie. Is he still alive? The Cropify keeps him safe from 33, who has his BKB, but not for too much longer. He wants to try and finish off Chessie, another Decrepify, but Hanskin actually TPing forward. They want Swarm more, they want Ace, and they're gonna get him.
I guess.
33, he can't deal with Chessie. He's almost actually going to die to this alone, and okay, alright. Hanskin snipes him with the Wrath of Nature. It's a bit of a disaster. I mean, they got enough time to farm up buybacks on these core heroes. But it looks like Final Tribe, they're poised to force them out. Frost already working away at the melee racks. Top lane creeps will disable backdoor, so that's absolutely fine. This is healable damage though, of course. Pops the rage, another buyback 4-star. Okay, beautiful Fissure once again. Frost needs him up for a 4-star or anything, there it is. Now reset, try again. Final Tribe won a huge team fight down bottom, just being able to kite around the Medusa, just wait out that ultimate. Massive amounts of mangoes being fed over towards this lifestealer. Again, this is long, tedious, sluggish Dota because you want to play safe, so you have to, yeah, you have to run through the playbook one by one, right? Win a team fight, go across the map, force out buybacks, back off, try and set up for another team fight. You have an advantage. Make sure that everything that you need to have available is available with a primal split. All the hexes, all the BKBs, if you have them. Which is not actually the case, you know. Okay, Hanskin, ooh, okay. Force off away into the Shadowblade. They do not actually have detection. Yikes. Seems good. Okay. I don't think they know about this, but this is still a big deal. Ursa, no BKB for 6 seconds, and Ace caught on the outside with 4-star back up to Dragon. That is absolutely fine, but PPD will give up his own life. Also caught on the outside. Oh, maybe not. Another 4-star here. Saxta and Father, they're just going ham on that. Saving lives left and right.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And buyback would have been available for PPD, but the more buybacks you spend, the easier you make it for Final Tribe. Because it's just, at that point, just a single misstep can lead, that can turn a 5v5 into 4v5. High ground defense time again. Kind of more or less locked in their base. And next Aegis again, long Roshan respawn. 2 more minutes. I mean, they're slowly running out of item slots, right? I mean, 26k gold on Frost. Can replace the Midas eventually here once you hit level 25, I guess. Plus 2-second rage duration, probably gonna come in very handy in this game. You can replace the Midas, you can still go for the Moon Shard. You can get Boots of Travel, but he's going for that value item, the Bloodthorn, right? Seeing the Butterfly and the Medusa, just alright. It's only Mana style, no BKB. It's also Lotus Orb, I guess, that you have to watch out for. And the ways of purging things away, but if that's not available, having a Bloodthorn is just, it should be the end of the Medusa, honestly. And if that happens in the next couple of minutes, I'll still cooldown for 4.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Might just be NiP saying goodbye. Not just out of this game, but out of this tournament. Slow and steady wins the race. We'll see if that'll be true for now. There's a smoke up, Frost. It's vulnerable here, but it finds the rage. Slowed down somewhat by the Skadi, but the rest of the team is close by, so that's absolutely fine. Up top, Lifesteal Illusions doing a lot of work. I mean, just Radiant Illusions, but pushing, keeping these waves pushed in time and time again. And then NiP forced to back off just ahead of Roche. They have a tree in the end here, so they will figure out that it's going to be respawned at any moment. Still looking for a bit of a pick off here ahead of it. They can claim this high ground here. This could be potentially devastating. NiP nowhere near there though. Apart from Ace. Oh, if they only knew that the rest of Ace's team is far away. It's kind of hard to make that determination. Too risky to attempt it, just for the heck.
The seeds of
This was backing off anyway, so hey, just go into Roche. You confirm that no one's in the general area, and that's good enough. Aegis cheese and refresh shot. Let's not forget about that one. I think they're gonna give that to Brewmaster, I guess, right? Would make sense.
Radiant are scanning.
Double primal split, level 20, so you can put a talent up. Or what? Actually, not sure if there was a misclick, honestly. A plus 100 attack speed rather than the extra health on primal split units. I mean, if they do find the Medusa with the Bloodthorn eventually, I mean, just critting with plus 100 attack speed, it adds up, you know. It's quite a bit. Certainly a thing that helps scale a little bit better, all things considered. I mean, it's secondary builds. You can turn it to right click with these talents, right? 100 attack speed and plus crit rather than the primal split cooldown. And maybe, yeah, maybe plus 1500 health was not enough in the face of the Medusa with split shot and like what, 300 something damage. Still gonna end up losing them if you're not careful. Either way. Frost, not quite level 25 just yet. But it does have the Aegis. Orchid Malevolence in the backpack. Switch back over to the buyback status. Not available for Xibber, he's a few hundred gold away. But still on cooldown for Ace as well as 33. So, Final Tribe, they have a bit of a timing window. If they kept track of that. But if they want to take advantage of it, they have to go right now. But, oh, they figured this one out. They see it. The Rune of Many Winds. Double damage for Frost.
damage. Invisibility.
And an Arcane Rune for Xibber. Or maybe someone else. Keeping it for Era? He has the bottle. Now he's giving out the bottle to Xibber. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But yeah, buybacks are going to be available again in 30 seconds, so it's not the biggest of deals now. Either of these die once. They are going to need to die twice. Ace, little fun, slow down, and style. That's that down. Nullify comes through. Oh, punch up by the orb. What the hell?
Onage.
The fuck?
Dire's top
Fuck
tower is
happened?
under attack.
I don't even know, but certainly very helpful. I mean, Zarkon does have buyback too, but they're going to need him to actually go for this defense. But Final Trap not even overcommitting here on anything. They get the TF3 up top, and there's the buyback. Finally coming out. Also with the Rage. Level 25 now, so extra couple of seconds here. Nullify over Necrophone's Vater with the BK, with the Force Stuff away. ICU's going to need some help unless you want to use the Aegis right here, right now. There it is. Bit of extra health, just for good measure. Bit of a poke, another buyback forced out. No huge commitments. Again, all of the ultimates, sure, but let's remember that there was an Arcane Rune on the Primal Split.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
So it's going to have that available sooner rather than later. $31k advantage. What does Dota Plus say actually? 94% for the Radiant. I want to say that NiP could still clutch it, especially with this pickup. The Rapier and Medusa. I mean, they realize that they are in dire straits, but they still have a high ground. And with this, they have the damage output to win a fight and to also just walk across the map and get some buildings, maybe even win the game off of that. Frost realize what's happening right now. He's gonna need some extra help here as he's life-stealing to Heart's Content, but it's not life-stealing enough, Xibber. With another ultimate here, lifts Ace up up in the air.
Is under attack.
Well, the trees just do some chip damage to buildings. So she's eaten, I believe, by Lifestealer, eh? Can make up the full immediately. It was the first time they figured out, alright, there's actually a Rapier online on Medusa. Will this be enough for NiP? Ace very far forward. They're kind of trying to bait him out even. This is so dangerous, but it's also perhaps the only way that they can do this. But Final Tribe again, this entire game, they've been playing so safe. So cerebral. They know exactly what NiP is on about. So now they know that Ace, they must be betting. There's no way he stands out this far alone.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
I'm not falling for it. Still have the Aegis, but only for 20 more seconds, so I might be in it for a little bit longer now. I believe there's backdoor, yeah. Top lane not close enough just yet. But again, like, Radiant Solutions, it's so hard for NiP to even push a wave out just by itself, right? They need to win a team fight. Take his arm. And so will not get rid of it here. The another silence and everything, but Lexus, load stops, everything is gonna be enough. Not quite. Double force up to bring him back up to safety, but now Ace needs to reach out before he can be a part of this fight. Final Tribe, they have an opening to do some building damage. Forced up across, actually. As, yeah, certainly committing for it. Finally, the first set of racks goes down. It's Ace, and he's ready to fight again. They are respecting this rapier. They should. They certainly should. But this game's still not going to be over. Even if they get mega creeps, I want to say. This time NiP, they can be very happy about... they can very happily hold out against that. Now, a couple of disarms here. Frost just clicking the buildings again now. Transferring over. A couple of hexes. Stuns. They're doing damage. Ace is dead. The Rapier's on the ground. And now it's not anymore. Lifestealer picks it up himself. He just burst him down. What was the response? Where was Saxa? What was happening there? Slibber gonna turn into his normal form. And now they just need to get him out. Is there 4 stuff available or anything? That is Chassis. He's got Xur's back. And what the hell?
Dire's bottom tower is under
I mean,
attack.
I understand Ace being in the front line. He's the one hero that can be there. But you need to freaking save him. I don't know where Saxa was. Maybe this blink was put on cooldown by Radiance or some random stuff. Speaking of Radiance, Frost actually put that in his backpack here. Damn. That's a lifestealer sitting for 660 or so damage. That's without crits. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Now, is this the final push? There was no backup rapier. He just doesn't have the money for it. Doesn't have buyback either, of course. He just used it a moment ago. Oh my god. Language? What did I say? Can't remember saying any bad words, but hey. Don't remember a lot of this game. It's just been more or less the same for the longest time, but now another lift up on Medusa. They're just coming for buildings at this point.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
I have no idea what I said, but hey. Whatever, whatever. I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure you're all just overreacting. It's just a normal game of Dota, you know? 50 minutes in, Medusa gets a rapier, loses it. And the opposing team just slowly but surely playing it out. Oh, just getting every single building and then saving the throne for last. 51,000. 51,000 gold lead, and Final Tribe is still not comfortable committing. Get themselves a DD rune in front of Roche. That's just normal. It doesn't even do all that much, right? It's only 136 extra damage if you really think about it. It's like a third of the rapier. Well, not quite, but yeah, a little bit more. But hey, another Aegis, another fire in the backpack. Wouldn't be too surprised to actually see him
The seeds of fortune.
Maybe put that in instead of the face boots once the fights once the fights start. But I know. NiP, they've been sitting in base for almost this entire game, it feels like, and even with the Medusa, I mean, there's gotta be limits to this hero, surely. There's gonna be enough gold for another rapier soon. There's also a vision over the secret shop, so can you even get to that rapier? Can you even purchase it in the first place? Like, I don't know. I mean, they're waiting. Look at this courier. He's ready to go on a secret mission. Just imagine. Oh, just imagine the courier buying up the rapier. Final tribe jumping on it. For now, they're just jumping on to the lifesteal here. A lot of damage being done with the scythe, actually. Just slapping down at Aegis. So far, so good. But Xibber comes in with the ultimate. Frost still going ham onto buildings here. Actually, just lift up the Medusa. Just ignore her. No one cares. And they just zap down PPD. Buys back immediately. Now, as quickly as they went in. Just getting out of here just as quickly. Xibber, okay, they're just gonna kill him off. Which does mean that he does respawn back here, actually. Oh, that's not ideal. Refresher shot comes through. He does have another ultimate to work with. Nullify everything being thrown onto Medusa. No BKB or anything for this ace. There's no Arax anymore left to take. Another take out of 33. He almost dies there alone. Trying to fight against Xibber. No, not Nullifier. 4 stars back and forth. Frost just so freaking powerful. They need to kite him. But he's getting closer and closer. Not close enough. They're just playing with ace. Like, where's his damage output? It's not there. Another Hex. Another couple of right clicks. Hanskin is super freaking fast at this stage. There's just nothing that NiP have. But everything that Final Tribe has. 60,000 gold. That's finally enough for them to say, alright, we can actually just kill him. You know, we can actually just end the game right here. We can knock NiP out of the MDL qualifiers. The Paris major qualifiers. That's exactly what they did. 70k when all is said and done. Alright, I don't think I've seen an advantage this big for a long, long time, but they did it. They just played Dota, you know. Open up the playbook on page 1. Read it, followed it all the way to the end. 23-7. Certainly not a kill-heavy game, but certainly a performance from Final Tribe worthy of a victory here. 2-1 the final scoreline. We're not going to see NiP here, but we will probably see them competing at the minor here if they can make it. But Final Tribe, they have one more task ahead of them. And that is going to be OG, who 2-0'd Alliance a long time ago, it feels like at this point. But that series should be up soon-ish on one of these BTS channels. I will not be casting that. I'm not sure who is, but don't worry. We're going to find out who the third European team is that can make it to Disneyland. Ooh. Hope you enjoyed the cast. I certainly had a lot of fun with this game. At least with the rest of the series. This game was a little bit sleepy at times, you know. But hey, it's all in good fun. It's all pretty good. And that's all for me. Thank you guys once again for watching, and see you next time. Goodbye.